What is up, everyone? Ryan here from E-commerce Intelligence. Today we are going through a full Black Friday, Cyber Monday strategy breakdown for e-commerce brands who are using Klaviyo or any other popular email and SMS marketing software for online retailers, Shopify, etc. So no fluff, I'm going to jump straight into it. No long intros or anything like that. When we're done, if you want help implementing any of this, just reach out to us. We do agency services, consulting, and we also have a super detailed Klaviyo training program as well. So let's get straight into the content and see how you can maximize your revenue over the Black Friday period and slightly before and slightly after too. So this is what we'll be going over. All of the build up and preparation you need to do to be in the best possible situation to get the max results when the time comes. List building and segmentation to do before the event. Different strategies you can use to have various offers to keep your customers engaged and get higher average order values and higher profitability. The actual campaign strategy for both email and SMS during Black Friday and the kind of surrounding events like early access and things like that. Automation changes you need to make. So if you're using Klaviyo flows or any other kind of email automations like welcome sequence, abandon checkout, cart, all of that stuff, and post-purchase, there are some key changes that you will need to make. And then we'll end with 13 quick fire tips to maximize Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales through the email marketing and SMS channel via Klaviyo or whichever other tool you are using. So build up and preparation. This really is key. Now, the reason it's key is because you want the ability to safely and effectively contact as many people as possible during a Black Friday, Cyber Monday period. And in some cases, brands can actually email their entire list a few times around Black Friday, which is not something you typically do. We'll look at examples of what those segments look like a little bit later, along with all the emails, the timing, and everything like that. But to get to this point where you can email as many people as possible, it requires some planning and preparation, 1 or 2 months beforehand. I'm recording this the first week of September, which is really when you want to start getting dialed in for your Black Friday preparation. The reason is you don't just want to start emailing, far more people than usual during Black Friday, just completely out of the blue, okay? So your lists need to be clean, they need to be engaged or re-engaged and warmed up. You need to slowly increase your sending volume over time so that when you get to Black Friday, you can have the best results possible. If you usually email like 50,000 people or whatever for your regular campaigns throughout the year, you don't just want to double that come Black Friday with absolutely no build-up, preparation, or warm-up. You're not going to get the best results at all, and you could actually end up hurting yourself. So we're going to have a quick look at the prep, warm-up, and the build-up period. Now, luckily, Klaviyo have actually outlined an entire process that you can follow ahead of Black Friday, and I will link to it in this guide. There's also a written version of this guide, so there'll be a link below the video and a link in the guide. So I'm not going to repeat the entire process because they've literally laid it out step by step what you need to do, so you can just follow that. But we're going to go over the overall goal here. So what you want to be doing is putting yourself in a position where you can safely contact 1.5 to 2x the number of people you usually email to get the maximum exposure for your Black Friday offers. So let's say your regular segments that you work with, like on average, your engaged segments throughout the year are like 50,000 people or something. You might be kind of building up to where you're in a position to be emailing, 75 or even 100,000 people at certain points during a Black Friday period. You don't want to email like everybody you can for every email during Black Friday, but you want to get to, a position where you might be like at least 1.5x your usual audience size. And there is a way to do that. Essentially, what you're going to want to do, starting 4 to 6 weeks before Black Friday, you want to clean your list, make sure it's high quality, and then begin testing sends, so different segments that you don't usually email. So people that are, have low engagement or just considered unengaged, you want to try and recover as many of those as possible so they're warmed up a little bit and you have a reason to email them on Black Friday. And as mentioned, on average, you'll have an audience, hopefully that's about 1.5x the size of the audience you regularly email throughout the year. Now, this is a screenshot from the Klaviyo guide I'm going to link to, and essentially what it's doing, you're emailing throughout a certain period. This is the run up to Black Friday, a month or two before. You've got your regular segment, whatever that is. A lot of people use 90-day engaged. at different points, you're adding in people from other lower or unengaged segments to try and recover and reactivate as many of those as possible. And that is the general idea. You're just gradually starting to email larger audiences to figure out who's active and who isn't outside of your regular segments in the 4 to 6 weeks before Black Friday starts. And like I said, this is a very step-by-step process that Klaviyo have laid out, so I'm just going to link you to it. And regardless of what ESP you're using, you can follow this process. So I definitely recommend going through that. If you're watching this now in September, start now. And if you're watching it later, then start as soon as possible and do as much of it as you can. Now, you might think, how do I warm up people ahead of Black Friday? What does that actually look like? Well, there's tons of stuff that you can be sending outside of your regular emails that you send in the September, October, November leading up to Black Friday. Here are just a few examples of campaigns you can be sending during that time, and you can be using these as part of your warm-up testing process. So these are going to be relevant at different times through September, October, November, of course, but these are just some ideas. So holiday gift guides, wish list building campaigns, try and get people to start building a wish list on your site ahead of your big promotional periods. All kinds of early access signups for Black Friday deals. Get on this list, get on our SMS list, things like that. I'll be going into that in detail later in this video. Halloween is obviously pretty close to Black Friday. It's basically like the biggest promo period in the kind of Black Friday run up. So you can be testing all kinds of segments and offers around then. You can do sale preview campaigns, like this is what's coming up in the sale, save the date, things like that. You can run some kind of giveaway campaign to really get all of your channels engaged, something you can really push hard to get as many people in your audience active as possible, not just in email, but in ads on all of your channels. Put together some kind of full giveaway, whatever it is, give away some kind of prize. Give yourself a reason to launch some new ads, to launch some new email campaigns, to have new on-site offers, anything to get people engaged and responding to you before the Black Friday run-up starts is going to be a big, big win. You could launch a quiz kind of like lead generation campaign. If you want a new way to generate leads, there's not just, the classic 10% off your first order pop-up on site. Consider running a quiz campaign. You can do that with email, you can do it with ads, you can do it on site, you can use it on your blog. We'll look at an example later. This is a great way to get people engaged before Q4. You could do back to school campaigns if that's relevant for your brand. You could test any pre-planned Black Friday offers that you have at full price to your best customers in the month leading up. We'll be talking about bundle offers in particular in this video as a good strategy, so you can be testing those. You could take part in free shipping weekend. I forget the exact dates of that, but it's in the run-up to Black Friday. And you've also got Veterans Day in there as well. So you have tons of things that you can be building campaigns around to wake up some of your lesser engaged audiences in the run-up to Black Friday. And remember to check out that Klaviyo guide to get the exact steps to both clean your list and then warm up as many people as possible in the build up to Black Friday. We're now going to look at specific list building and segmentation strategies that you need to do before Black Friday, so you have lists that are as large as possible and all of the segments you're going to be using, who's going to get what are all the different campaigns, and who are they going to be sent to. So this is a quick guide on getting that in order. You want to acquire as many newly engaged email and SMS subscribers as possible before Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So try and think of new ways to get previous website visitors or warm ad traffic that's already in your audiences onto a list if they're not already subscribed. So you've got your main email list, but you probably have a ton of people that come to your website regularly that engage with your ads, but they've never bought from you. They've never signed up to your list because, maybe your list is just like 10% off your first order, free shipping off your first order or whatever. Like that's the offer you're using on site. And if people aren't ready to buy, a lot of people aren't just going to opt into that. They've probably seen it a million times. You want to give them something fresh and give them a different method to opt in and get on one of your lists before Black Friday. So we discussed a couple of ideas in the last slide, but you can also do kind of content giveaway campaigns, maybe some kind of like lead magnet. If you're in a market that requires like a lot of research, like, supplements or something health related or anything where you can come up with a good lead magnet idea, you could do quizzes. These could either be like fun and entertaining quizzes or ideally product recommendation quizzes that guide people to select the best thing for them. They are really, really good lead generation strategy. I recommend any brand use them if you think it fits your product range. And this can be a great way to get people onto your lists, either usually from ads or from your social channels, without focusing on discounts and things like that. And of course, we've got all kinds of like early access lists, SMS sign up lists and things like that you want to be pushing before Black Friday. Ideally, you want to use paid ads, you want to use on-site messaging and pop-ups, you want to use quiz tools, you want to use your social channels, and also your existing email list to get subscribers from email onto SMS. So using all of your channels and a couple of these different ideas, you just want to try and get as many engaged people onto your list as possible in the run-up to Black Friday. Some examples, this might be, some on-site messaging, basically, get early access, join this list to hear about our deals before everyone else, like our best sellers are likely to sell out at the start of the sale and things like that. Give people a reason to get on either early access lists or SMS lists. This could easily be an Instagram story. It could be something on site. It could be an email to get people to opt into an early access list. We've got some specific email campaign examples here as well. So, register to be a VIP, get early access to our deals. This is specifically getting email subscribers to sign up to an SMS list. Just gives you another channel to use during Black Friday. So take as many opportunities as you can to get people engaged and get them subscribed to various lists before your promotions start. And use multiple channels, get people on early access lists, pre-sale lists or whatever. These are very, very valuable, and you have a really good group of engaged, hungry people who want the offers that you're about to start promoting. This is a quiz example. I mentioned quizzes a couple of times. I really like quizzes. You've probably seen these around a lot. Basically what happens is you have a quiz landing page like this. They go through a bunch of questions that are designed to recommend products for somebody based on their answers. And then you put in the email address at the end that gets you on the list. And then you get kind of like personalized email sequences based on the answers you gave and things like that. This is a great list building incentive to run up any time of year. But during the build up to Black Friday, when you want something fresh and new to get people engaged and get them onto a list for the first time, a quiz campaign can work very well. You can promote this on site, on your blog, social ads, or any other kind of ads as well. These often have pretty good CPLs. You obviously get a lot of first party data, which you can segment out people in Klaviyo and do all kinds of things with. So consider building a quiz in the build up to Black Friday as well, if it fits your brand. A few key segments that you'll want to build, be aware of, that you'll be using at some point, in the months leading up to Black Friday and Black Friday itself. So firstly, VIP. Your VIP customers, however you want to define them, whether it's 3 orders overall time, whether it's a certain spend overall time, 2 orders, whatever that might be. You want to know who these people are. You want to know what they're going to be getting. You want to be thinking about how we can personalize content for them during Black Friday, which we'll talk about later, because these people, this is going to be a small group that of course drive a large percentage of your overall revenue compared to other customers. You're going to want a bunch of different engaged segments, 30, 60, 90, 180 days. A lot of brands even go wider in this for the biggest kind of Black Friday launch emails. So you're going to want to have those ready. You're going to want to know things like, who are your one-time buyers? Who are your repeat buyers? Who are your buyers from various collections? So we'll be talking about personalizing Black Friday emails later in this video. But, if you have a wide product catalog and say you have 8 main collections or categories or whatever, if you have customers that clearly prefer products or only buy products from one specific category, it makes sense to tailor offers around them, especially if they're VIPs or if they're repeat buyers. If we can use any kind of personalization that makes the campaigns more relevant to each customer, particularly previous buyers during Black Friday, it's going to help you stand out rather than just sending like 30% off everything every time. It's like try and tailor it to people. So at least segment out people by the collections they buy from. In some cases, even like hero products, if you have products that are, responsible for a large percentage of your overall sales. You're also going to want to know, from last year or the year before, who are people that only buy during Black Friday or only buy during sale periods or with discounts. You're definitely going to be including those in any promotions that you are running towards the end of the year. Anybody that requested early access to your sales, anybody that's signing up, email and SMS, specifically to get early access, they are interested. So we want those people segmented out. We want to know the email subscribers we have who are active that are not subscribed to SMS, because we really want to do everything we can to get them onto our SMS list before Black Friday. Customers on subscriptions, what are you going to do with them? Does it make sense to include them, exclude them? Do they need to get something different? Probably just don't want to hammer them for like 7 days straight over Black Friday for a product that they're already on subscription for. So you need to think about things like that. What is your largest segment for Black Friday? Like your overall big segment that you're going to email a couple of times. Like I said at the start, potentially this could be the full list for some brands. If you are cleaning your list, if you follow the Klaviyo kind of Black Friday warm-up cleaning process and warming up process that I mentioned earlier, you can email your full list a couple of times. However, don't email your full list if you are not doing cleaning and making sure that the quality is at least good overall and you've stripped out all of the bad email addresses. Offer strategies. Here's a few things to think about. This can make a massive difference to the overall success of your Black Friday promotions. Think about the offers that you'd like to run. The easiest but least exciting is just a flat site-wide discount, 30% off everything. Not particularly interesting. People see this all the time. It will tend to fatigue pretty quickly, especially if you're doing early access, then Black Friday, then Cyber Monday, then maybe a little extension. 7 to 10 days, just seeing the same thing every day, it will tend to burn out a little bit quicker. So obviously you can do that. It can work great and does work great for a lot of brands, but think about these options. So do you want to do, just higher value bundle deals and focus your real worthwhile discounts on those? Maybe create a separate landing page. We'll talk about this later, and really just push the majority of your traffic to high value bundle deals that's over your average order value. Get people trying out new products, give them some really big savings, but make sure that they're spending a good amount in order to get those. You can either focus your entire offer strategy around deals only, or you could lean towards them with that having, clearly the best value versus the offers that you're running for just, general site-wide stuff. So focusing on bundle deals can be a great way to really boost your overall revenue and profitability, clear out, unwanted stock and things like that, get people trying out new products and combinations of products during Black Friday. Tiered offers based on order size. This can work super well. So probably see this before, you get 10% off if you spend like $50 or whatever, but if it goes up to $75, then maybe it's like 20% off. And if it's like over $125, maybe it's 30-40% off or whatever. Obviously the numbers can change drastically. It will depend on your products, your margins, your AOV, but really trying to incentivize those larger orders can go a long way to making sure Black Friday is overall, one, worth it, two, actually profitable for you on both existing customers and the new customers that you are bringing in. And then, trying to have different offers for various parts of the sale. So again, going back to the example, if you just have flat 30% off everything, that's your pre-sale offer, that's your Black Friday offer and your Cyber Monday offer. By the time it gets to Cyber Monday, everybody's seen it, it's stale, and it's just not that interesting anymore. Everybody that was going to buy has probably bought already for the most part, and it just tends to taper off over time. Obviously, the last day is always going to be big. If you can vary things up, you might have different offers for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and obviously the most extreme version of that is brands that do like daily deals. We'll have a look at one or two examples of emails later in this presentation where a brand might have an overall offer for Black Friday, like something site-wide, but each day they'll have like very specific, highly attractive offers on specific collections or products or whatever. So every day you have something that is urgent, it's only today, it is interesting, the customers don't know what's going to come each day and things like that. So that can really keep people engaged. And it gets you the best of both worlds. So you get the people that just want to buy everything or anything, they can take advantage of the site wide. But every day people are seeing, okay, what's the deal of the day today? Like, what could I potentially get like a really good bundle deal on? Maybe there's a buy one, get one on some product that I like or want to try, things like that. So all of these ways are obviously different methods to get more out of your Black Friday offers. They can all improve margins and average order value if done right. They can create more scarcity, and they can also keep customers interested and engaged rather than just seeing the same thing twice a day plus an SMS for 7 to 10 days and it never changing apart from like the hero image or whatever. Example bundles, like these aren't obviously Black Friday emails, but bundles like this combined with Black Friday messaging and like deep discounts can work really, really well. So you can build an entire offer strategy around bundles alone for any sale really, but especially Black Friday. Try and do this wherever possible if you have products that make sense together, just to boost the AOV and profitability. We'll have a look at more examples later. The specific campaign strategies for email and SMS, we are going to be talking about those now. When do you run the sales? How many emails do you send? Who you're sending to, and things like that, just to give you an idea. There's obviously a million ways to do this, but here are some ideas. So most brands are going to want to do some kind of early access. So promotional dates are going to vary a lot by brand. So are you running an early access campaign? Are you letting VIPs early into your main sale? Are you giving them something a little bit better for like a day or two before? Are you running some kind of pre-sale that people can sign up for? At least one of these is recommended, if not multiple. Dates do get earlier each year, is kind of becoming a bit of a running joke. Obviously, the promotions start earlier and earlier through November, but generally like a couple of days, a week or less before Black Friday, Cyber Monday is pretty good to do any kind of pre-sale, whatever. Obviously, you can do it earlier if you want. It just becomes a competition against other people in your market. There's obviously arguments for and against being super early or waiting to Black Friday or whatever. That's really just up to you. Any kind of early access deals, I like to try and keep them pretty short, even just like 1 or 2 days, like generally 2 days, like a VIP 2-day only sale where they get something a little bit over and above the regular discount can work really, really well. Obviously, a million different ways to do this, but this is a good one to try if you are looking for just a standard idea. Generally, 48-hour VIP only sale a few days before Black Friday is a really great way to lock in a huge amount of revenue before kind of Black Friday really, really starts and just get off on a really, really strong foot, knowing that your best customers have had something super sweet before anybody else. They probably really appreciate it. And then you can see what the rest of Black Friday does for, your other customers, your prospects, and some of these people will come back and buy more things most likely as well. For any kind of early access, you need to get clear on exactly who you're sending to for any sale promotions. These are generally going to be your segments that are VIP customers if it's a VIP only deal, your best customers if you're giving them early access, or anyone who's requested early access specifically. These are, very, very valuable lists. Make sure you keep this exclusive. And remember to have these planned out like well ahead of time, everything signed off, scheduled inside of Klaviyo, inside your ESP or whatever, because all of this stuff takes place in the building to build up to Thanksgiving. It's only a few days away, the holiday, people are traveling. It can be a nightmare doing stuff last minute. So if you've been around for a while, you obviously know this, but if you're doing this for the first time, just get everything done ahead of time. Makes everything, a lot less stress. You want to get everything scheduled so you're not worried about scheduling it on the day. You want to schedule your emails out over the course of a few hours and things like that. We'll be getting into that later. Let's have a look at an example VIP promotion. This might be how you run like a 2-day, 48-hour VIP sale. So a few days before Black Friday, you'll probably just include your VIP customer segment if it's a true VIP only sale. This might be 3 or more purchases, 2 or more purchases, $300 spend overall time, however you want to identify your VIPs. And generally, like just a super standard out-of-the-box VIP promotion is going to be 4 emails over 2 days plus 2 SMS campaigns over the 48-hour period. Obviously, you can do 3 emails a day. You can add in text-only, kind of note from the founder emails towards the close. You can include or exclude SMS depending on how many people you have on your SMS list and things like that. But this is a pretty standard campaign, which will get you, the 80-20 of results here. And you can really be as aggressive as you want, ramping up or down. And by the way, so this 4 emails, this kind of assumes that VIPs have been made aware of the sale event in the prior days and weeks. So in a couple of slides ago, we talked about like building anticipation, letting people know what's coming, pre-sale, save the date, things like that. You want your VIP customers and anybody that's going to qualify for early access, let them know what's coming. These are the dates, this is the offer, or like tease them at the offer, whatever it is. Just don't do it out of the blue. Let them know what's coming. And this is how it might look. So we're typically doing early morning email, evening email, and then something in midday. The reason I have these time frames as like time windows is that generally you kind of want to be staggering the emails out over time, meaning, you might set an email to send beginning around 8 a.m. and like have it go out up to like 10 p.m. So we're not emailing everybody at once. We're like staggering it just to help with deliverability, sending out over a 2-hour period in the morning, over a 2-hour period in the evening and like 1 or 2 hours in the middle of the day. Typically, if you don't know where to start, you can do email morning, SMS midday, early afternoon, email evening. And then, so this would be the launch day, and this would be the closing day if you're doing a 2-day VIP. And obviously you can switch these around. You can do email and SMS in the morning, email and SMS in the evening, 3 emails, 2 emails, all kinds of combinations. You obviously need to balance a number of emails versus how many times you're contacting people. Generally, more emails and SMS means more sales, but obviously there's a limit to that. So this is a pretty standard 2-day VIP sale for some kind of early access. It works really, really well. Some brands will also do like a bigger offer for VIPs. So maybe they get 35% and everybody else gets 30% during the regular Black Friday. So you definitely want to let people know that. Some examples, generally in terms of email layouts, the tried and true, like it just works, is hero, and this isn't just for VIP, this is just for generally Black Friday or any sale period emails, an on-brand version of this. So big hero banner, let them know what's going on. So people that are just looking at it, they're on their phone, okay, I know exactly what this is. And then below, you want some kind of deep links to specific areas on the site. So whether that is specific products or bundles that you're promoting, specific collections or specific offers you've created for Black Friday. So this is for people that just want to go to the site and shop. These are for people that want some a little bit of inspiration. And we'll talk about this a little bit more later in the video. But if you can make these sections personalized in some way, especially for existing customers and especially for VIPs, like your highest value people on your list, this is going to perform really, really well. Hopefully these sections here, whether these are bundles, whether these are specific products or collections, these are going to be either dynamically changing or you're going to create different versions of your templates depending on someone's purchase history. And if someone's a VIP, you're going to know what their purchase history is. So these are pretty standard. And then, definitely don't be afraid to mix it up with text-based emails during Black Friday. These, from what I've seen, these do so well. I don't know why, like people argue about whether it truly gives you better deliverability or whatever, whether it's just different. People open it and are like, oh, finally, like an email that isn't just flashing some GIF in my face on auto repeat. It's just something I can actually read. And, super simple. Hey, message from the CEO. Thank you so much for being a VIP. Our VIP only sale is ending tonight, whatever it is. Things like this can work super well, either for VIPs or just your general sale as well. Just mix it up so every email is not necessarily like some magazine cover in their inbox. You never really see these or I've never really seen these just flop, where it's like, oh, we sent a text-based email during a big promo and it just didn't work. People didn't respond like that. In my experience, for the campaigns we've run, that just doesn't really happen. So these are great options as well to mix things up. Black Friday itself. So email and SMS. Email and SMS, if you're using Klaviyo or any other ESP, this is generally, what we would recommend. It's just a starting point. So a lot of brands, Black Friday period will start on Thanksgiving, although in truth now, many brands are already running some kind of early access that's already started before Black Friday, and it all just carries on into one. That's either early access signups only, or they're just starting their regular sale to everybody days ahead of Black Friday sometimes now as well. It's really up to you whether you want to do that. If you are going to do that, then bear in mind, like around Thanksgiving, you don't want to be like hitting people with like 3 emails and an SMS probably on Thanksgiving Day, like dial it back a little bit, but it's really, really up to you. So we're going to have a look at a sample calendar, but we'll cover this in a second. You do need to be a little bit thoughtful about how many people we're emailing each time, how many emails they get, especially for VIPs and things like that. Generally, 2 to 3 emails per day are standard for the main sale days, starting on Black Friday, okay? So not Thanksgiving. Some brands do it, obviously. I'm not a massive fan. Of course, add in SMS if you use that channel, and spread out your sending volume over a few hours for the largest send, or all sends really, during Black Friday, because these are the busiest times of year. Don't use the same segments every time. We'll talk about this in a minute, but if you're sending 2 to 3 emails a day for 5 days, or in some cases even more, you probably don't want to be emailing your VIP customers 3 times a day every day for almost a week. Like, that's just unnecessary, especially if they've had early access. The same people that are on subscriptions, getting to think about who should we be including in these different sends. Pretty standard schedule might look like, day one, let's say you start at Thanksgiving, even though in reality a lot of brands start earlier. You might do 1 email on Thanksgiving that's just like, very soft, happy Thanksgiving, by the way, our sale's running. And they probably already know it's running if you've done it earlier, but not a fan of hitting people with 3 emails and an SMS on Thanksgiving. Just one, maybe it's like a note from the founder, quite text-based, not too many flashy sale graphics, things like that. Just let people know and then really get into the sale messaging on Black Friday. So generally, we'll follow a similar schedule to the VIP early access we looked at just now. Black Friday, early in the morning. Again, over a course of a couple of hours, you'll launch email. You might do an SMS or another email at lunchtime or early afternoon, and then another email in the evening. And then Saturday is usually Small Business Saturday. So it's going to be email in the morning, again, something in the afternoon, SMS or email if you like, and something in the evening, usually just another email. And then Sunday, this is either going to be like Black Friday closing, or it might be Cyber Monday starting early or Cyber Monday early access. Depending on, like, some brands, there's no differentiation between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It's a flat offer. It's the same all the way through. There's no change. So it just merges into one. They say, oh, Cyber Monday starts tomorrow, but it's just the same thing that's been running for like the last week or something like that. So if you are doing different offers, you have a Black Friday offer, you have a Cyber Monday offer, maybe you have different products for each, even just a different coupon code, you can talk about something different in the Sunday email and as you get into Cyber Monday. These are a couple of examples of Black Friday emails. So again, this is similar to what we've already discussed. You want the hero message at the top, unmistakable, just what is going on for the people that are just overwhelmed and like looking for you in their inbox. Then you want call outs to deep links to either landing pages, specific product pages, specific collections. Again, if this can be personalized, if any of these product specific sections can be personalized, that's always great if you can do it. But generally the formula is hero offer, deep links below to your best offers or products. You can include things like this. Let people know, buy now, pay later is available. This is a huge thing around the holidays. Talk about gift cards. I haven't mentioned that yet, but I should have. This is also gifting season, so always include gift cards in there. They're great for margins, and if anyone's going to be buying them at any point of year, it's now, like, pretty close to the holidays. We've got an example from Perfect Keto here. Always do really great sales. They have, their big kind of like, this is the overall sale banner at the top. And then they have the tiered. So we talked about earlier doing tiered discounts based on sale value. Here they're doing it on number of items. And they're also doing daily deals. So but this brand really is either on brand for you or it's not. But if you really want to hit sales hard, these guys, they come at it from every angle. They do really cool stuff. I would definitely keep an eye on them during any big sale period. And they do things great. So we've got hero banner, tiered discounts, and then deal of the day. So like this brand, if you're buying from them, you're going to be coming back every day. Like, what's the deal of the day today? And then this is just an example of a good closing offer that really just focuses on a brand that, sells one major product. Really, it's like a mattress product. And, really good copy around it and things like that. And this is a closing offer. Strategies for Cyber Monday, again, for email and SMS, fairly similar. As I mentioned before, Sunday is either positioned as the end of Black Friday or Cyber Monday starting earlier, or it's just another day of your regular sale that you've been running for the last 10 days in some cases. Depends on your offer structure. So you can either, again, be more conservative or aggressive than this. As we've said all the way along, generally more sends equals more sales. Cyber Monday will be like day 5, assuming you started on Thanksgiving, although in reality, we know it's usually deeper in than that. Cyber Monday launch in the morning, SMS in the middle again, early afternoon, whatever, midday. Evening email, and then Tuesday is usually Giving Tuesday. Generally, this is going to be the final day of the sale for a lot of brands. So again, final day, this is usually a big day if you're closing it on Tuesday and you've said the whole time it's closing on Tuesday. Final day, SMS midday, email close. This can be like a text-only email from the CEO at the end, which works really, really well. Generally, it's pretty common to end these sales on Tuesday, which is going to be the 28th of November. Things really start to feel stale in many cases if you're running after this. Like, if you've been running the same offer for like the last 10 days, you did early access, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, please just end it on this Tuesday. I've really seen brands try and push it a lot longer into that week, and then then you've got Christmas stuff coming up. Give people a bit of a break, and actually for once end your sales when you say you're gonna end them. So again, pretty standard Cyber Monday setup. You could do more, you could do less. As we said before, think about who you want to be in these segments, who maybe doesn't need to get all of these emails and SMSs and things like that. And we'll talk about that more in a second. Again, Cyber Monday, it's the same really formula for the actual emails. Big hero, make it absolutely unmistakable what the offer is, especially if the offer is different to your Black Friday. Maybe link to some key collections. And then if you have bestsellers, if you have products you want to push, if you have the ability to personalize the products based on the individual receiving them, this is the area to do it. This email talks about gifting, which I quite like. They've also set a pretty high threshold on what their average order value is. This is really only 10% off, and you have to spend $250, and it looks like this is store credit. So, I mean, this is going to be a great way to get high average order value and achieve good margins for this brand. Again, this is a great email from Supply. They're just focusing on specific collections, specific offers that these may or may not have been available for Cyber Monday. And then this is just a really strong site-wide offer that would be specific for this short period of the year. And again, something like this can work great. Segmentation. You do need to think about who you want to send to each time. It's not recommended to send to your biggest segment 2 to 3 times a day, every day for the duration. We said at the start, this is a one time a year or one of like 2 times a year that you can get away with emailing your entire list if you've cleaned your list. That doesn't mean you send your entire list 2 to 3 times a day, every day for 7 to 10 days for your early access, your Black Friday, your Cyber Monday, your little extension at the end. You don't really want to be doing that. Take that big segment, the one that you've been warming up for, start and end with that. Maybe include it a few times in between. You spent months building up so you can warm up and use this segment. Like I said, this might be the entire list, but think about who you want to remove from some of the emails. Think about your VIPs, recent buyers, customers on subscriptions. You don't want to be hitting these people every day, 3 times a day for 10 days straight. It's just not necessary. Do focus on people that have opened sale emails and not bought. Website visitors who haven't yet bought during the sale period. This is the people you really do want to be making sure that they come back before the sale ends to buy. Don't focus too much on just hammering unopeners. See this a lot. Oh, we're just going to resend so many times to unopeners. We're going to change the subject line. These people in our engaged segment, but they haven't opened any of our Black Friday emails or like the last 2 emails or whatever. The people aren't as valuable as the people who are opening and being active on your site and engaging with your ads, but they haven't yet bought. So don't worry about hammering unopens too hard. Focus on the people who are actually engaging but haven't bought, and do things like remove recent bounces and things like that during the sale. Deliverability is tough enough. If emails are bouncing during Black Friday or emails are being invalid or whatever, you don't want to be hitting those over and over. And again, remember to schedule your email over the course of a few hours for most, if not all, of your sends during this time. Personalization, mentioned this a few times, but it's worth doing if you can. Try and incorporate personalization wherever possible. Think of 80-20. So 20% of your customers probably contribute 80% of your revenue. So give your best customers the most tailored experience you can. Examples would be personalizing any product recommendations sections for your emails, like particularly for your VIPs. You know a lot about your VIPs, you know what they buy. Promoting specific collections to people who have purchased from those collections in the past. Any previous customer, especially if they bought more than once, or even if they've just bought more than once, you know what they've bought. So especially if you're a brand that has a huge catalog, why not personalize if you can do it? It can be done fairly simply now with technology. Obviously, Klaviyo has a ton of different options for this. And personalization for your very best customers can go a long way. At least try and do it for your VIPs. So this is an example of what it could look like. This brand on it is like a nutrition brand, and we see some Black Friday emails from them here, all focused on different products. So this could be a couple of things, right? It could be them recognizing, okay, we have a bunch of customers that only ever buy like from this collection, Alpha Brain, which is one of their key like nootropic supplements. We have customers that only ever buy or mostly buy apparel, and we have people that buy this product or this collection, whatever this is. They might be sending, same campaign, same day, but segmenting it out based on what people have shown interest in or bought in the past. Or these could be like daily focuses. So like this day we're going to focus on Alpha Brain, this day we're going to focus on apparel or whatever. But this is an example of what personalization could look like if you were doing it. And if you remember the Black Friday template examples that we went through earlier, we had hero offer at the top and then deep links at the bottom, whether it's product deep links, collection deep links, or bundle deep links. If you can personalize those to people based on their previous buying patterns, at least for the VIPs, that is going to go a long way. Automations. It's easy to forget about automations during Black Friday, or just, I don't really know what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to leave them. Abandoned carts, welcome sequences. People are getting all of our Black Friday emails anyway. Like, they're going to see the sale. Like, let's just leave it. You don't want to do that. It's kind of confusing. It might cause customer service issues. You don't have congruency. Customers are like, what's going on? They get conflicting messaging. So you want to make some basic changes to your automations. It is crucial to make sure email and SMS automations are congruent with your Black Friday messaging. Can get confusing to customers if not. Generally, you want to duplicate your main automations. I'll look at this in a second. Adjust the copy, adjust the offers and key graphics for the main emails. It's also a great idea to build a custom post-purchase experience for Black Friday, Cyber Monday buyers. We'll look at this, especially new customers. You're going to have a lot of new customers, hopefully, on Black Friday. You want to convert them to repeat customers and give them a very good new customer experience. Give them a custom post-purchase Black Friday buyer experience. So what does this look like? Think about updating the following email MS automations or flows if you're using Klaviyo. Welcome sequence. So this is your highest volume flow for most brands. Generally, people that opt in, the footer, any kind of on-site pop-ups, you obviously should have changed your on-site pop-ups for Black Friday messaging. They're going to go through your welcome sequence. If your welcome sequence is 10% off your order with like this coupon code or like this unique coupon, you don't want to send them that coupon over like a 7-day welcome sequence when you're also running a Black Friday offer of like 30% off this or 25% off if you spend over $50 or whatever it is. It just doesn't match at all. They're going to try and stack the coupons. If your Black Friday offer doesn't need a coupon, but they also get this welcome coupon, they're going to stack it or try and stack it. And the checkout's going to say, nope, you can't do that. And it's just going to be a nightmare. Customer service issues, they're going to get confused. So just make sure it's congruent. So just take out your coupons in a new version of your welcome sequence, duplicate your Black Friday messaging. These are the offers that we're running. Welcome to the brand. Here's a Black Friday graphic. Here's our tiered discounts or whatever offer we're running. It finishes on November the 28th, Giving Tuesday. Buy now, basically. Same with abandonment, whether you're running cart abandonment, checkout abandonment, browse abandonment, switch out your offers. Considering shorten the time frame, if you have a 4-hour delay on cart abandonment, maybe take it down to 2 hours and make sure if people are abandoning the checkout, say, hey, you're abandoning this, like our Black Friday sale ends in 2 days or Cyber Monday ends in 2 days or whatever. Take out your usual abandoned cart messaging. Just focus on the Black Friday messaging that's going to convert better than anything else. Take out any coupon codes in the duplicated version of the flow and just make sure they get a congruent experience. They abandon their checkout. A couple hours later, they get an email that says, hey, you abandoned this. Here's what you wanted. Black Friday right now is 25% of everything if you spend over $75. Come back and complete your order. So it's a consistent, congruent message that pushes scarcity and like genuine scarcity of the Black Friday offer. Post-purchase, we'll talk about this in a minute. Ideally, you need to rebuild these for new Black Friday customers to encourage repeat purchases. And then other flows. So if you have a bunch of flows running, a lot of them are just kind of irrelevant during Black Friday. So if you're running Black Friday for a week, you're sending a few emails every day and it's just the Black Friday offer, right? If you have a win-back sequence or some kind of re-engagement email that somebody triggered 3 months ago and they haven't done anything since, you don't be sending them that in the middle of Black Friday, or like you've just qualified for some VIP deal or like your birthday deal or something like that happens to fall in the middle of Black Friday. All of this stuff is like kind of irrelevant when you're running Black Friday if you're running, you know, big site-wide or, you know, your biggest offers of the year. So you can either pause these, you can either use Klaviyo Smart Sending, or you can, if you really want to, create a different version of them. But a lot of time you can just pause these, focus on the main ones, and just make sure the experience is very, very relevant. And also remember, a lot of these flows are not going to be, if you're sending 3 emails a day, if you're using Smart Sending, a lot of these are going to get filtered out anyway, and they're going to get caught out by Klaviyo's filters. But just make sure the main ones have congruent messaging. Okay, post-purchase, you mentioned this a few times. So a key focus should be converting new Black Friday, Cyber Monday customers into repeat buyers as soon as possible, giving them a great first impression. You've likely paid a lot to acquire them. Ad costs through the roof. You're also discounting at the same time. Maybe you're breaking even or worse on the first purchase, so let's make the most of it. Often over half of new customers in the period are new. Build a custom post-purchase experience for them to welcome to the brand, encourage a repeat order during the holiday season. So a lot of people are coming in, they might not really know much about you, they're just buying because they see this amazing deal, it ends in 2 days. They might not be that familiar with the brand, they just couldn't resist your offer, hopefully. So focus on, gifting periods coming up, the holidays are coming up, focus on gift cards, focus on an exclusive offer in the post-purchase phase just for new customers who bought during Black Friday. Get them to use it during December, get them to come back. Go out of your way to get these shoppers to come back and buy again towards the beginning of December, hopefully in the run-up to the holiday period, whether it's buy a gift for yourself, buy gifts for your family. Here's a unique code you can use in the next 2 weeks or whatever. Thank you for trusting us during the Black Friday season, whatever it is. Get them really into your brand and turn them from someone who just saw an ad on Instagram and like, holy, this deal is amazing, I'm just going to buy it, into somebody that is really, into your brand and wanting to come back and buy again. Hopefully at full price in the future, but at least at a discounted price again during the holiday season. And I think everybody knows if you can get people to do that, make that second purchase, the third purchase becomes more likely, which means future purchases become more likely, generally anyway, depending on the market that you are in. Okay, and lastly, 13 quick-fire tips to maximize your email and SMS performance during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whether using Klaviyo or any other platform for email and SMS. So here they are. Number 1, take the time to warm up your list and ramp up the volume. Follow the guide I mentioned earlier. It's linked below the video. It's linked in the written version of this. Build sales-specific landing pages. We didn't really talk about this too much because this is specifically email and SMS, but generally you're going to want to sending all traffic, if you can, to sales-specific landing pages during this period, regardless of where the traffic's coming from. This is great for bundles in particular that might not fit into your regular product pages. Lean into SMS hard and get as many people subscribed as possible. We talked about early access SMS lists, running ads, on-site messaging, social promos, emailing your email subscribers to get people onto SMS lists. Send your biggest emails or all emails during this period over the course of 2 to 4 hours. Don't just send it to everybody at 8:15, emailing like 150,000 people. Segment properly. Don't hit your best customers, especially VIPs, all day, every day for 10 days straight, email and SMS. It's just not necessary. Don't obsess over continuously resending to unopeners. Like we talked about why not to do that earlier. Focus heavily on discounted bundles if you can. AOV, profitability, better all round, higher quality customers. Mention and promote gift cards heavily, starting in November, all the way through this period, right up till December. Touched on gift cards briefly, but you want to mention these everywhere you can. They're great for margin, great for gifting. Personalize emails where possible, especially for customers and VIP customers. We talked about how to do that. Make sure all buyers from last Black Friday are included. We talked about that, including any other sales you run through the year. Build a custom post-purchase experience for new buyers. Mix in some plain text emails. I didn't actually look at many examples of this, but I should have included more. These are great just to mix in. They're great for VIPs. They're great randomly inside your Black Friday promotions. They're really good for our sales closing in like a couple hours promos. These always do great. Don't be afraid to use them. Don't worry about them not being on brand. The copy can be on brand. And then don't forget to change all of your messaging back post-sale, okay? If you're really going hard on Black Friday, you're changing all of your on-site banners, your pop-ups, your emails, your automations, stuff on your socials, like make sure everything is changed back to how it should be. That is an overview of things you can do to get ready for Black Friday. If you want help with this, reach out to us. We do them for you agency services. We do consulting. We also have a very comprehensive Klaviyo and email marketing and SMS training program or course if you want to do everything yourself. And yeah, if you're in e-commerce and you want to help grow in your email and SMS revenue, we would love to help you. ecommerceintelligence.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.